This supplement is marketed as the ultimate muscle protector. It's supposed to stop your body from breaking down muscle, speed up your recovery, and help you hold on to every hard-earned gain. It's called HMB. And on paper, it sounds almost perfect. The marketing is clean, the theory is logical, and it's been a staple in muscle preservation stacks for years. But here's the question. Nobody selling it wants you to ask. When independent scientists actually tested it, did it hold up? Because the answer changes everything. So today, we're putting HMB under the microscope. The mechanism, the studies, the dosing, and whether it deserves a single dollar of your money. Let's start with what HMB even is. HMB stands for beta-hydroxy-beta-methylbutyrate. That's a mouthful, so here's the simple version. One of the most important amino acids for building muscle is leucine. When your body breaks leucine down, a small fraction of it, roughly 5%, gets converted into a compound. That compound is HMB. So at its core, HMB is a byproduct of leucine. Your body already makes small amounts of it every single day from the protein in your food. Now, why would anyone bottle a byproduct and sell it? Because of what it's theorized to do. HMB is marketed as anti-catabolic. Catabolism just means breakdown. So anti-catabolic means it's supposed to slow the rate at which your body tears down muscle tissue. And the logic is genuinely appealing. If you can slow the breakdown while you keep training, you should net more muscle over time. It's a clean, believable pitch, and that's exactly why it sells so well. To be fair to HMB, there is a real proposed mechanism here. This isn't pure fantasy. Researchers believe HMB works in two ways. First, it may reduce the breakdown of muscle protein, protecting the muscle you already have. Second, HMB feeds into a pathway your body uses to build and repair cell membranes. In plain terms, it's thought to help reinforce and repair the outer wall of your muscle cells after hard training, and there's some measurable support for this. Several studies have shown that after intense, muscle-damaging exercise, people taking HMB had lower levels of markers your body releases when muscle is damaged, things like creatine kinase. Lower damage markers suggest less muscle breakdown. So on a biochemical level, HMB does appear to do something. The real question isn't whether HMB is biologically active. It's whether that activity translates into what you actually care about. More muscle, more strength, better results in the mirror. So if the mechanism is real, why is HMB so controversial? The answer is in how the hype started. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, some of the first HMB studies came out with genuinely eye-popping results. Large gains in muscle and strength that looked almost too good to be true. Supplement companies took those numbers and ran, and HMB became a hot commodity. But here's the problem with early exciting studies. Many of them were small, just a handful of participants. Some had methodological weaknesses, and several were funded by parties with a direct financial interest in the outcome. Now, industry funding doesn't automatically make a study wrong, but it does mean you wait for independent researchers to reproduce the result before you believe the hype. And that's the golden rule for judging any supplement. Does the effect survive when better, larger, independent studies test it? For a lot of the early HMB magic, the honest answer turned out to be no. So let's look at what happened when the stronger science arrived. Specifically in the people HMB is actually marketed to: healthy lifters and athletes. In 2018, a meta-analysis pooled the randomized controlled trials on trained and competitive athletes. A meta-analysis is the gold standard. It combines many studies to see the overall truth instead of cherry-picking one result. Its finding was blunt. HMB produced no significant effect on strength, not on bench press, not on leg press, and no significant effect on body composition either. No meaningful change in body mass, in fat-free mass, or in fat mass. Then, a separate systematic review zoomed in on young resistance-trained adults doing structured lifting programs. Same verdict. HMB did not improve their gains in body composition or strength beyond what the training was already producing on its own. So, stack those together. In the exact population buying HMB to build muscle, healthy training people, the best available evidence says the benefit is somewhere between tiny and non-existent. The supplement that sounds perfect on paper mostly fails to deliver for the people paying for it. Now here's where I want to be genuinely fair. Because writing HMB off completely would be just as dishonest as overhyping it. The research shows HMB does have real value. It's just for a different audience than the one it's usually sold to. Where HMB shows modest but real benefits is in situations where the entire goal is protecting muscle you already have, rather than building new muscle. Think older adults fighting age-related muscle loss, a condition called sarcopenia. Think people recovering from illness, or stuck in a hospital bed where muscle would normally waste away fast. Think periods, where a limb is immobilized after an injury. In all of those cases, holding the line on muscle is the whole battle. And multiple meta-analyses support HMB helping there. There's also a reasonable case for HMB during aggressive fat loss phases or extremely intense training blocks, where your body is under enough stress that muscle breakdown becomes a genuine risk. So the science isn't saying HMB does nothing. It's saying HMB was marketed to the wrong crowd. It's a muscle preservation tool, not a mass-building shortcut for healthy lifters. All right. Say you're in one of those groups where HMB actually makes sense, or you just want to try it yourself. Here's what the research says about using it properly, so you're not wasting it. On dosage, the studies are consistent. Around 3 grams per day is the sweet spot. And this is important. Going higher doesn't help. 6 grams a day has been tested, and it does not produce better results, so more is just more expensive, not more effective. Because your kidneys clear HMB steadily. Splitting that 3 grams into smaller doses across the day helps keep your blood levels stable. There are also 2 forms you'll see on the shelf. The calcium salt form, HMBCA, is the most common and the most widely studied. Take it about 60 to 120 minutes before training. And the free acid form, HMBFA, which absorbs faster and peaks sooner. That one's taken 30 to 60 minutes before. One more tip. If your goal is reducing muscle damage before a hard event or training block, the research suggests starting at least 2 weeks ahead, not the day of. On safety, the news is good. Human studies lasting up to a year at 2 to 3 grams a day have reported no adverse effects, and reviews consider HMB safe for both young and older people. Side effects are rare and mild, occasionally some stomach discomfort. So HMB is safe. The issue was never safety. The issue is whether it does what the label promises. So let's bring it home. If you're a healthy lifter and you were about to spend money on HMB to build muscle faster, here's what the science says to do with that money instead. First, nail your total protein. Aim for roughly 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. Hit that from real food, and you're already getting all the leucine your body would ever convert into HMB for free, and in the form your body prefers. Second, if you want a supplement that's genuinely proven to build muscle and strength, the answer is creatine. It is the most researched, most reliable performance supplement in existence, hundreds of studies deep, and it costs a fraction of what HMB does. Third, put the rest toward consistency, good sleep, progressive overload, and actually showing up. No powder on earth beats those three. That's the whole mission of this channel. Not to tell you every supplement is a scam, but to show you exactly where your money buys results, and where it just buys a nice-sounding label. The supplement industry sells hope. The research sells reality. And with HMB, the reality is refreshingly simple. It's a solid tool for protecting muscle in aging, injury, or illness, and an underwhelming one for building muscle if you're young and healthy. Know which situation you're in, and you'll never waste money on it again. If this saved you some cash or cleared things up, hit subscribe, because that's exactly what we do here, one supplement at a time. This was the Gains Lab. Fitness under the microscope. I'll see you in the next one.